Hey everyone, and welcome to another video, and today we're taking a look at the latest update to my home theatre, and that is the Marantz SR8015. This is the first official AV receiver that I've actually ever purchased. I have previously had Technic systems, but they're more like all-in-ones where you get the speakers and everything with it. This is something that I obviously had planned for quite a while. I did mention it in quite a few of the home theatre update videos that there is something in the works, and basically there are going to be updates. This is something where I've been monitoring this particular AVR for quite a while. I've been price monitoring it probably for at least 4 to 5 months. I was waiting to see if anybody actually brought out anything new this year, maybe a direct replacement for the 8015. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything from any of the main manufacturers, Denon, Marantz, nothing in their lines that is a direct replacement for the 8015. And because of that, I've basically just decided to stick with the 8015. This is a older model, and basically it was the flagship for late 2019, but because of COVID and everything that happened since, everything kind of got delayed, so officially it's probably only maybe about a year, 2 years old. Now in this video, what we're going to do is just take a quick look at the unboxing experience. I didn't make a live recording, but I did take a lot of B-roll, so what we'll do is we'll just go through that. But first, a quick word about one of my channel partners, that is American Audio Company. The American Audio Company is a unique UK-based hi-fi and home cinema store specializing in some amazing North American AV products. With relationships with a wide range of both UK importers and US and Canadian manufacturers, they are in an amazing position to offer some truly amazing products to both end users and the trade. Please do check them out for all your AV needs. Right, so the unboxing experience is quite simple. Everything is basically just laid out in the styrofoam portions on top of the actual AVR. As you can see here, you get the remote and it actually comes with the batteries already with it. The remote we'll take a quick look at later on, and I will take a deeper dive in further videos. In this video, I just want to concentrate in terms of exactly what you get, how it's laid out, that kind of thing. So you'd also get the power cord and you get the Odyssey calibration microphone as well. Once again, all of these things individually we'll take a look at in a separate video. The microphone itself comes boxed, and it's actually a lot smaller than I was expecting. I was expecting this to be maybe a bigger unit. It's literally quite a small triangle type setup, and it's obviously, as many people have mentioned in the past with their videos, it comes with its own cardboard tripod, which we'll take a look at a little later on. Taking a look at the actual power cord, now this is probably one of the biggest power cords I've ever actually seen. The plug on this thing is absolutely gigantic, and the reason I'm guessing is because they've actually adapted some sort of other plug into a UK adapter. So as you can see just on the actual plug part, so the bit that plugs into the wall, it's absolutely massive. It doesn't really make any difference, but obviously it's quite heavily fused on that section, which is probably good considering how much power this thing can actually make. Now taking a quick look at the actual remote. As you can see, it's laid out quite well for what it is. Initially, when you first look at it, there's buttons everywhere, and it's basically the opposite of what I like. However, once you've actually gone through the setup on the Marantz, it does become quite apparent in terms of which ones you're going to use, which ones you're not going to use. I probably won't use this full time. I'm going to end up using one of my universal remotes, but it's good to have this where everything is laid out. Next, you get the quick start guide, and as part of this, get all your basic information, and a lot of it is done on screen. I have also run through the setup on screen, but I didn't actually do a video on that. Alongside that, you do also get something that I really like and other people have shown. So you do get the stickers to actually label all your cables once you actually have this set up. And in that same package, you also get the Bluetooth antennas, the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antennas. Because of the type of chassis this particular AVR has, you're not really going to get a signal from it unless you use these. So make sure you connect these. I do have mine connected via Ethernet, but obviously the Bluetooth side of things, if you want to use any additional remotes or anything else, then obviously you want that Bluetooth signal there. The stickers, as I mentioned, it's really good, because if you ever want to quickly switch things out, then you can basically label everything up, and it saves you a lot of time having to guess or mark cables manually in terms of what cable is what. Now we come on to the actual tripod. So this, as I mentioned in the past, is the homemade cardboard tripod, if you like. On the bottom of the actual mic, it does have a 1/4-inch thread, I believe it is. So I probably won't use this. I'll probably just use a smaller tripod that I have lying about. I have plenty of tripods that I can actually connect it to, and I'll probably make use of those. But it is good that they do include this for anybody that doesn't have a tripod. Majority of people aren't YouTubers, so they don't necessarily have those kind of things lying about. So this is quite good that they've included it, and it's there if you want to actually make use of it. So next, taking a look at how the AVR is actually packaged. You can see it is kind of double boxed, so it does have extra protection on the sides. You might have noticed from the very first few shots of my video that there was some damage to the outer box, but none of that translated to the inside. Taking it out of the box, this thing is quite heavy. I don't know the exact weight, I'll probably list it on screen. It is quite heavy, and it does come additionally wrapped in this sort of styrofoam paper. And once you unwrap it, you get to see the beauty that is the SR8015. I think this is a really, really nice looking AVR, and for something that is basically like the first AVR that I've added to my collection, I think it's got a really good look. Now the latest, the 2022/2023 models I think they do look better than this. This is kind of a sort of dated design now, if you like, but for me it still looks quite good. And whilst obviously I've got all the labels and everything on in this particular shot, later on in the video I do actually take all of that off, because I do actually like how clean the AVR looks once everything is actually removed. Taking a look at what's inside that front panel, and you can see it does give you a lot more connections, as well as a lot of manual sort of physical buttons that you can actually use, tactile buttons that you can use if you don't have it set up with either the remote or maybe a universal remote where you can carry out all these functions. Now taking a look at the back of the AVR, as you can see, this can be quite daunting if this is the first time you've ever seen or used one of these AVRs, but it's actually not that complicated. Anything with dots essentially or solid colors are outputs, and anything with black is your inputs. As you can see, the speaker outputs run all along the bottom, and then you have your subwoofer ones just in between all of your coaxial outputs, just in the middle there. All of your speaker connections can use either bare speaker cables, or you can also use banana plugs. I probably will use banana plugs just to make it easier. In the top right and top left, you have your antenna connections, and over on the right hand side is where you have your power cord. You do also have various other ports on this. If you are interested in them, then obviously you can just pause the video and take a look at those. I have also posted a few pictures on the community post as well as on Instagram as well. So quick plug, if you haven't followed me already on Instagram, do come over there, and also on Twitter. Follow me on those, because I do post a lot of update information, short videos, as well as photos on those platforms as well. I do think the back of this AVR looks just as good as the front. Everything is laid out really nice and clean, and obviously what's inside it is most important. The main reason I went for this particular one is that it drives all 11 channels, and you have processing for up to 13 channels. So if you do add an additional external amplifier, you can actually take this up to a 9.1.4 or 7.1.6 setup if you choose to do so. I'm going to stick with a 7.1.4, so 7 ear level speakers, 1 sub for now. I will add a additional sub further down the line, and 4 atmos speakers. That's basically matching the soundbar setup I had, but obviously this is going to be a lot more immersive and a lot more directional as well, in terms of it's not using rebounded sound, it's not using fake DSP sound. It's going to be real speakers directing sound in those directions. It's a lot bigger than I was actually expecting, the AVR. Unfortunately, because of that, it doesn't actually fit in the location that I wanted this to go, but I may just go down the route of a rack setup further down the line. One nice little touch that I do actually like is along this front lip, you have all of this logos ingrained or sort of stuck on in the brushed black aluminium that you actually see along the top. Now, when you're looking at this straight on, you can't always see it, and that's what I'm actually showing here, where you can see that it kind of fades away and you can't necessarily see it all the time, but I thought that was a really nice touch. So as you can see, the front of this just looks really, really clean. I like the all sort of almost matte black kind of finish on the front. Obviously, once you turn it on, you do get the traditional blue ring, and you have the little display on the front. If you did want to, you could obviously drop the front panel and you would have an additional screen there with more information. I probably won't ever use that because I have also connected it through the app, and the on-screen menus are actually really good as well. That's something that I knew Marantz were really good for. Their on-screen menu gives a lot of information, and you can basically do everything on screen, so you don't necessarily need to actually go to the AVR. Obviously, if you have a rack setup, then you're not going to want to be going and messing about with these buttons anyway, because you might not even have it in the same room. This is what it looks like once it's actually powered up. I really like the blue ring. I'm hoping there is an option to dim it, but to be perfectly honest, where I've actually got this located at the moment, it wasn't actually too distracting whilst I was watching content, even in a dark room. Whilst it looks really bright, just because of where I've got it and the fact that my screen is so much higher, it means that it isn't as distracting as you might think. It does also have the dimmer button, and I've already programmed that into my universal remote, so I can actually dim this quite quickly and quite easily if need be. Yeah, final looks at the actual AVR itself, and yeah, I'm really happy with this particular purchase. I may well upgrade this somewhere down the line, but at the moment, this what I'm thinking is an all-in-one straight solution for anybody that wants either a 7.1 or 7.2.4 setup, which is, I think, for most smallish rooms, the ideal setup, and it gives you the best immersion from what you're looking for, and it gives you a perfect Dolby Atmos setup. Okay, so that's it for this particular video. I will have a lot more videos coming on the Marantz. I will probably do a dedicated section and dedicated videos on the Marantz alone, and I will also have other videos coming for the speakers that will be connecting to this. So for those, if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'd really appreciate if you also give this video a thumbs up. And until the next one, thanks very much for watching.